yourself up. Wait, actually, hold on a second here. I was thinking about something the other day. I talked about her posture, obviously a whole bunch, and I talked about bringing the shoulders back and yada 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 because of all the good stuff that it does for us. And I was thinking about something this weekend. In dance, we talk a lot about posture, right? About how you hold yourself, how you move through your world. And it's nice when you work with different instructors, you get different kinds of information. And this one dancer that came in from New York, she was talking about bringing the chest up, right? Lifting from the chest. That's actually where all the head tilts where I talk about focusing in on your throat. That's where I got that information was, because that's where she mentioned to open up was from that point. It just makes everything that much more expansive, right? Because otherwise it's like we're back on our spine. It's just like it just doesn't feel the same. There's a change in there. And it got me thinking about the shoulders. I'm always talking about bringing them down and back. And an interesting fact is, and the thing about that I realized yesterday was that when the shoulders are coming down back, we actually got something in our way. We got the rib cage, right? It's like we're having to roll them down and back. So taking the principle of what she was talking about, their chest and your throat, what I'd like everyone to do, bring yourself up against the whole door wall here right after me. As you're standing there, I want you to go ahead and imagine a string tied right there to your chest and actually feel it pulling it up nice and high. So you feel your chest rising on up, your chin automatically comes up right along with that, your vision wide and expansive, all that good stuff. As your chest comes up, notice what happens to your shoulders. Notice what happens in your back. You give yourself room, and things can drop down in there really easy now, huh? It's kind of like we were in our own way, and we were trying to move around ourselves when all we had to do was just simply reposition ourselves into a place where you feel more open, more expansive anyway. Notice how much easier it is to breathe. And once again, just keeping your eyes up, how much better you feel. How much easier things can become for yourself. Go ahead and pull yourself up a little bit taller. You lift that chin up a little bit higher. Pull that chest up a little bit higher if you choose to. It's just good for you. It opens things up. You can process things properly. Your shoulder blades, they automatically drop down and back. Give yourself that room, that space. As you're noticing all that for yourself, I want you to go ahead and think about 3 things that you're grateful for. 3 things that bring a smile to your face, joy to your heart, make everything worthwhile. It's nice, isn't it? Let's go ahead and bring all that over to our mat. Dive on in. Continue on with that. As you're doing so, I'd actually, as a chest, I'd recommend that maybe you consider that whole chest opening aspect of it, right? So go ahead, get things down. So as you're moving through everything here today, imagine that string holding at your chest, lifting you. It just allowing you just to rise that much higher, allowing yourself to breathe that much easier. As you're doing that, that's nice, isn't it? Find yourself automatically coming back onto your heels. It's just part of how it is. I want you to go ahead and focus right there, right in front of your throat. Using that as your access, your focal point. Go ahead and begin. Bring your head forward and back. It's Monday. It's been a couple days, huh? It's nice to get back into the scheme of things. It's amazing how fast things can change for you. Day to day, moment by moment basis. And even now you may be considering about the changes that you're experiencing, thinking about that string, feeling your chest lifted up higher and higher, opening up more and more. Bringing your head straight on, keeping your chin slightly elevated, bringing it off to one side, and the next. Once again, allowing yourself to lift, to breathe. And then you give yourself space for all your internal organs, all your vitals. Bring your head straight on up. Let's go ahead and bring it forward. Up to the side. Continue around. Breathing in through your nose, deep down into your stomach. Imagining that balled up balloon, any color that chooses to show itself. As you breathe in, you feel your stomach, your pelvis expanding. Go ahead, reverse directions. And as you breathe out, things just let go. Remember, you can move, you can adjust your stance. Feels right. You're so comfy. Enjoy the ride. Go ahead, bring your head straight on up. Once again, I want you to imagine that string holding your chest on up. Letting those hands rise. Fingertips on in, thumbs up, elbows rotate in underneath, shoulder blades coming down into that back line, and begin rotating up, back, and around. Your hands pulling apart from each other, giving yourself space. Give yourself some room. Once again, you find that chest lifting, your chin automatically rising as well, your vision can be expansive. Inside, outside, it doesn't make a difference. Feel good either way. You can always choose the best way for yourself. Opening up that shoulder joint. Letting those hands come floating all the way down to your sides. Leaving those shoulder blades against the back line. Hands float up in front of you. Intertwine those fingers. Begin rotating. Palms, wrists, forearms, elbows. Anywhere that you choose. You're willing to play with it. Try new things. Be curious. Be playful. Give yourself time to explore. Yeah. And as a matter of fact, you did. That's why you're here, right? No restrictions. You came here, take care of yourself. And the more that you can be curious about how you can do that, be playful in the way that you do that, the more that you get to experience all of that. Why hold yourself back? Let yourself go. Feel things becoming looser and looser, easier and easier. Let's begin waving those arms in up. Do those ribs up on over, down that side, through your soles, back on up through. Feel yourself opening, stretching, accepting a new day, new way, new week. New times for changing, new ways of being, ways that you choose, ways that you decide. Wonderful. Let's go in reverse directions. Remembering to breathe. Always breathe. Keep that breath moving in and out. Let's go and bring those thumbs, pinkies together, thumbs into the sternum. Knuckles straight on up, extending straight on out. Rock back on your heels once again. Remember that string. Feel that little tug, feel that little pull. If you like to, you can even imagine something gentle up behind your back, lifting you from the backside, supporting. If you like to dance, if you like to partner dance, maybe you can imagine a person's hand that gently, carefully, lifting you a little bit higher. Allowing yourself just to breathe easy and be in this moment. That's all the ways that you can feel good. Experience that. Go ahead and bring those palms forward, extending yourself out more and more. Choose and let a gentle smile come across your face. Let it light up your eyes. Feel that warmth across your face and let it just shower down over the rest of you. As you do so, you can let those hands rise on up above. You can readjust, reshift, put things into proper place. Feel all of that warmth as it just cascades all the way down through you. Your mind, through your body. Tops of your hands, down to the tips of your toes. You can let your head just drop on back. Relax it on back. That's how much easier it is just to smile at this moment, to let yourself open up in this moment. To the extent that you can take a wonderful deep breath in. As you breathe out, let those hands come floating all the way down to your sides. Wonderful. Let's go ahead and bring ourselves down our mats on all fours. And knees nice, wide apart, wiggle, swiggle. Now when I say hands and knees wide apart, I want you to open up to those hip sockets, those shoulder sockets. Give yourself room. Go ahead and start moving your body this way and that. Reach out with your ribs, hips, whatever you choose. Kind of take an assessment, being curious about yourself. Noticing all the ways that you're ready to change. Maybe even answering that question for yourself right now. What are you ready to change? You know, you get all kinds of change in here, don't you? It's pretty cool. Begin rotating those shoulders up towards our ears. Back, down, forward. Continue on through. You can continue to move your body in any way that you choose. Once again, assess. Check things out. Be aware of how you feel in this moment, in this time. Remember that. Not times from the past, but how you are right here and right now. Now is your time of power, right? We've all heard that. It's a bumper sticker. Now is really the only time that you have, so if now is the time, then maybe now, right now is the time to make changes. Let's go to resurrections. Because now it is the only time. Hey, it sounds like a bumper sticker, doesn't it? Swami Rani. Now is your only time. Feel yourself opening up more and more. Let's go ahead and bring your hands directly underneath those shoulders. You can laugh. Enjoy yourself. Begin rocking forward and back. You know, we learn by far the best, the easiest. You're having fun. When you're willing to go easy on yourself, just enjoy the moment, this moment. Rather than being hard, critical, serious. Now, there's times for being serious, being focused. That's some serious business right there. Focus in on yourself, relaxing more and more. Those forearms, wrists, palms, fingers, any place else that you're experiencing the best benefits, and knowing that there's so many other places other than that, besides that, on top of that. Begin rotating around in a circle. Imagine yourself that cat, any color, any size. Imagine yourself inside that ball, just reaching out with your ribs, hips, shoulders, head. Taking all those wonderful breaths. Breathe deep. Enjoy that. Feel yourself expand more and more. Good. Switch directions. Enjoying all that expansiveness that's inside of you. Allowing that to grow more and more. Allowing yourself to rise, to flow, to open yourself up. Feel good. Go ahead and bring your weight back over your feet. Go ahead and rotate your hands back around so the fingers point back towards you. Bring your weight back down onto those palms and moving in any direction that you see fit. Any direction that allows you to feel good. Even those little winches sometimes, those little triggers. Feel them? You can even laugh about those and go, thank you. Show me where my pain point is, where I can make changes. It's a good thing to make changes, isn't it? To know that you can make changes. Letting go more and more. Relaxing, realizing. Find any place right now where you feel any kind of tension. Go ahead, breathe into it. Literally imagine yourself breathing into it. Allow it to expand, and as you breathe out, just let go of that tension. Let it go. Things change. Things go to other places. You can find other muscles, other places that are supporting you, taking care of you. Possibly doing that in a much healthier way. You never know until you're willing to check things out for yourself. Go ahead and bring your weight back onto your heels. Flip your hands over. Bring them down on the backside. Rolling on through. So again, be willing to play. Be curious. You've been doing this for a while. You'd be surprised. You can be amazed at how much flexibility you have now in comparison to how you did at the very beginning. Bit by bit, piece by piece. Imagine that. How many times you've been here, each and every one of you, you've had your own experience, your own length of time. When you consider how much time you've invested in yourself, in your health, in your well-being, it's time to start looking for those dividends, right? Let's go ahead and bring your hands directly underneath those shoulders. All fours, once again. Take a nice deep breath in. Allow yourself to rise on up into cat position. Stop when you stop. Don't force it. Go ahead and let your head hang all the way down. Let that head hang. Hand it over to gravity.
right off the bat, once I said hand it over, I felt my head just like literally drop a couple inches. I hope you can do that for yourself too. I mean, hand it all the way over. You can trust it. Ain't going nowhere. Relax your neck as much as you possibly can. Feel that opening in your shoulders, mid-back, lower back. Go ahead and take a wonderful breath in, healing breath, and find yourself rising, find yourself growing. And you're going to find yourself smiling, just enjoying all that. As you breathe out, find all that relaxation, all that space, and just settle on into it, the most comfortable way possible. And as you rise, you find that your head drops a little bit lower. You feel yourself opening up a little bit more, counteracting all the daily gravity in the other direction where it compacts you. Gravity's our friend, right? It all depends on how you want to play with it. Enjoy yourself. Take another wonderful breath in. Find yourself growing even higher, even more. Feel that arch in through your back and all that wonderful freedom that you're giving your spine, your rib cage, your shoulders. Freedom to simply be, your freedom to grow. Breathe in. As you breathe out, bring yourself down into cow position. Go ahead, arch your hips, chin on up, pull your head away from your tailbone, literally extending your spine. Bring your chin on up a little bit higher, eyes on up a little bit higher. You can smile if you want to. You can do anything that you choose, anything that you want. I'm not going to criticize, critique, tell you not what to do. You got enough people doing that, huh? And do what you want to do. Please. Please do that. Enjoy that. Experience that all for yourself. Breathe on in. Bring yourself back into cat position. Allow yourself to rise. Allow yourself to fill up with all that freedom. Come to that point where you stop. Hand that head over. Don't forget that. Well, that was a shift, huh? Then go ahead and allow yourself to breathe out, rise even more. Continue on. Better and better. Letting go more and more. Finding that the things that bothered you before, they're completely out of your mind. Choose to just let that go. Isn't it a great thing to know that you can do that? That's funny. Because now, the more you do that, the more that you realize any other time in your life when you start feeling the stresses, the worries, oh my God, what about this? I feel that. You know, you can change it. It's nice to have that kind of personal power, isn't it? Know that you don't have to be stuck. You don't have to be dependent on someone else. You can take care of yourself and feel good about it. Hey, who wouldn't? Breathe a little bit more. Grow a little bit more. Rise a little bit higher. Feel a little bit more expansive. Feel stronger in yourself. More confident in yourself. Happier with yourself. Nothing wrong with that. We all want to be happier with ourselves, don't we? We all want to feel better about ourselves and in ourselves. Breathe into yourself now all that health, all that wellness, all that happiness, all that joy. As you breathe out, allow yourself to come back down that cow position. Arch your hips, bring your chin on up, pull your head away from your tailbone, extend that spine, chin up a little bit higher, eyes up high, wide expansive, breathe, smile, and let those eyes just feel good. Feel good in all that space. Bring yourself back into a neutral position. It's good to bring yourselves over onto our backs in the foot circles. And extend that right leg, nice, long, and lean. Good. Bring your left foot up to your bottom. Push down into the floor with that left foot. Scoop your pelvis underneath. Lower back comes down to the floor, roll off to one side, your shoulder blade underneath, to the other side, shoulder blade underneath. See right there, that shows what I was talking about earlier, about our chest, right? Making sure that our rib cage is in the proper position to allow our shoulders to come back where they were. Because we're lying there, our chest got in the way, our rib cage got in the way. We got to roll a little bit. We got to give ourselves space. A wonderful chest lift actually does that for us when we're in a standing position. And you just allow things to settle wherever they're supposed to be. Go ahead and bring your hands down by your hips. Let your left knee float toward your chest. Reach up on and around behind that knee, lovingly, tenderly, securely. You will not let go. Except of everything else. Relax. Let it go. Discover yourself being able to do that quicker and easier each and every time. You apply the lessons that you learn here, and you find yourself feeling great in moments. In this moment. So many different tools, so many different ways, so many different lessons that you learned long before you came here. A lot of stuff that I'm teaching here is kind of common sense stuff we've been hearing in our entire lifetime. We just didn't quite know all the reasoning behind it. When it comes together in a way like this, it's like you can process it that much easier. It's as simple, like basic math, 1 plus 1. Then relax your hips, lower back, shoulders, your neck. Allow yourself to breathe that much easier. Breathe into your head. Feel it expanding all the most wonderful ways, your face. Bring your attention right there between your eyebrows, go inside. I always feel this wonderful little drop when I do that. I like a big one. It's just a small one. Just feels right. Just my whole body just settles into the mat. And relax. You might be enjoying that too. As you are, let's go ahead and extend that left foot nice and long. Feel that shin opening up, ankle, top of the foot. And go ahead and relax when you're ready. Keep all that flexibility, all that fluidity. Imagine that perfect circle, color, hit your big toe on. Now go for that right. It's a little metaphor there, but it just seems to kind of make sense. It does the job. It doesn't always have to be pretty. Maybe it is for you. It could be a big old sun, bright, shining, healing, doing all the work for you. Powering your subconscious mind, all the ways that it takes care of you. Not only physically, mentally, emotionally, every single habit that you have is an operation of your subconscious mind. It's gotten to the point where you don't have to think about it. Things just happen automatically and easily for you, right? It's like tying shoes. When's the last time you tried to think about how to tie your shoe? I've had a couple of tie shoeing moments in here before. It's kind of hard. Things don't go smooth the way that they normally do. Because it's out of your conscious thought. Our unconscious mind is so much smoother. Things happen so much easier when you hand the job over to it. Let's go in reverse directions. Finding that circle gets bigger and bigger. Because you're handing that job over to the subconscious mind. That inside part of you. And what do? You can go ahead and relax your hips. Lower back. Shoulders. That's how much easier that foot's moving. Your neck. Your head, your face. Go inside. Imagine your sinuses expanding, relaxing. You're breathing in that much easier. You filter out all the junk, all the garbage.
You only keep what's good for you. Just go ahead and bring your left foot on down to your bottom. Right foot comes on up, extend that left leg nice long. Go ahead and push that right foot down to the floor, scoop your pelvis underneath, lower back to the floor, get those shoulder blades underneath. Hands down by your hips. Your right knee floats in towards your chest, reach on up and around behind, grab hold, let go. Let go. Hips. Lower back, relax. Shoulders. Neck, your head, your face. One side. Drop. Remember to breathe. Through your nose, deep down into your stomach. Imagine that ball, that balloon. Relax as much as you possibly can with each and every breath, each and every exhalation. Be curious about how much you can let go. How good you can let yourself feel right now. That's what it really comes down to, isn't it? How good are you willing to allow yourself to feel right now? How much tension do you think you have to keep? And how much of that can you just choose to let go? So it can be like an internal battle. Let go, let go, let go. Maybe for you it can be something completely different. Just a complete letting go. As you hand that over to your unconscious mind, allowing that to happen all on its own, you can go ahead, extend your right foot. Feel that opening in your shin, ankle, foot. Relax, keep all that flexibility. Imagine that circle, hitch on up, go for that ride. Now while that's happening, once again, bring your attention back to your hips, relax them. That's what happened to that foot the moment that you did. Ah, what happened to that foot when you came back to it, huh? Give it back to the unconscious. Relax your lower back. Your shoulders. Your neck. Your head. Your face. Go in reverse directions, go inside. Let it go. While you're focusing in on all that relaxation, literally focusing on all the best parts of all that relaxation, keep your mind focused on that. Let just a little bit of it pay attention to that foot. And notice how easy things happen. You choose to let go of everything else. Go bring your right foot down to your bottom. Bring your left foot on up. Push your feet down into the floor. Scoop your pelvis in underneath. Lower back to the floor. Shoulder blades underneath. Rock off side to side if you need to. Hands on off to either side. Take a nice deep, wonderful breath in. Really fill yourself up with that. As you breathe out, allow your knees to drop out to either side in the frog pose. Allow your hips to drop. Relax. Go ahead. Scoop your pelvis in underneath. Once again, bring your lower back once again closer to the floor. Keep those shoulders underneath. And allow your hips to relax even more. Allow yourself to open up even more. You feel even better. And you make those shifts, those changes anytime that you want. You didn't even remember how relaxed you were a moment ago. Hips, lower back, shoulder, neck, head, face, go inside.
Find you can do it quicker and easier each and every time. And just by hearing those words, running that checklist, right? Just like an airplane pilot. They always run their checklist. You do it, you get the results. Hips, lower back, shoulders, neck, head, face, go inside. You don't always have time to take all the time you need. At the same time, when you use the time right, you get all the results that you need. Learn those hips to open up more. Scooping that pelvis underneath if you choose. Imagine yourself in those gluteal contractions in the near future. Putting things in their place. You're cleaning yourself up right now. You're allowing yourself to just feel better and better. Happier with who you are and how you feel. And all that over your subconscious mind as well. Let all that continue to grow, to expand. Connected to your breath, knowing that everything that you breathe, every time you breathe in, you breathe health, wellness. It keeps you alive. You live. You're here. You're now. And every time you breathe out, you let go of all the things that you don't want, that you don't need. Tie all the things that matter to you, your health, wellness, your happiness, whatever may be tied into that breathing in. Imagine yourself taking all that in. It can even be a wonderful color, any color, multiple colors, a rainbow, anything that you choose. As you breathe in, you feel all that filling you up. Wide, expansive, free. And as you breathe out, you find yourself relaxing, letting go of all the other stuff so that you can even enjoy all the good stuff even more. What a gift that is, huh? A gift that you can choose to experience anytime you want. Standing in lines, driving, sitting in traffic, enjoying beauty, nature, enjoying this moment right now. Let's go let our left knee come on up towards the ceiling. Nicely, gently, easily let it come on over to that right hand side. It's going to take a moment just to adjust, shift, do whatever you have to do. Move your pelvis, hips, twist, turn, settle on in. Take a nice, wonderful breath in, breathe out. Notice where you may feel the most tension, where you're ready to make a change right now. Breathe into there. Imagine dropping a pedal into it, those ripples, whatever you choose. As you breathe out, you just let go. Hips, lower back, shoulders, neck, head, face, go inside. It may even be a sense of there being some release just on the other side of that. Some part of you that's just waiting to open up. Need just a little bit more letting go. It's not something that you have to force. Something that comes out in its own time. Let's take this time. Pull your knees down away from your head. Straighten out that part in the front of your body. Go ahead and activate your left glute. Bring your hips, pelvis over towards your right hand. You turn your gaze to your left hand. Bring your feet back towards your left hand. It's that gleeful jump. It's Monday! Possibly noticing the release that you can experience by that subtle little shift. That subtle little move. Willing to let go. Try new things. Put yourself in new positions, new ways of being.
Being willing to move past what may have previously scared you, worried you, concerned you. Find that there's so much ease and grace on the other side. There can be as much of that as you choose, as you want to be. Just going to let your left knee rise on up towards the ceiling. And then come down to your left side, open up in the frog pose. Your right knee comes on up towards the ceiling, and then gently, easily, carefully, nurturingly, it lowers down to your left-hand side. Breathe in, breathe out, shift, adjust. Whatever makes you feel good. Amazing how quickly the uncomfortable can become comfortable, isn't it? And yesterday, I did something because it made me really uncomfortable. Literally, I did something because when I asked myself if I wanted to do it, I told myself no, and I said, well, we'll do it then. Seriously. And something I've been thinking about for a while. When it was no big deal. Well, not necessarily to you, but it was to me. We all have those things, right? Big things that are really little things, and then once you do it, then it's no thing. Well, it's actually a really big thing because you actually went through with it and did it. You're willing to take a different stance, a different position, do something differently, open yourself up more. Find more freedom. Go ahead and pull your knees down away from your head, extend through your body. Meet your right hip, glue that, bring your pelvis towards your left hand. You can turn your gaze back towards your right hand, pull your feet back towards your right hand, jump for joy. That's how I felt. It was funny, I drove there. On the drive there, it's kind of like, do I really need to do this? It's really a big deal. Am I really going to gain anything out of it? Is it really worth the time? I laughed. Yeah, I knew they were all excuses. Alright? You know what I'm talking about. We all make them up. We all hear them. I had a ton of them. And I was cracking up as I was driving. And I knew what they were. And it's nice to know when you know what things are. What they really are, right? And when you know that, when you know the validity of something, then it gives you the power to change. Just going to bring your right knee on up towards your ceiling. Open on up into frog pose. Notice how much easier things are becoming. Let your left knee come on up. Bring it on over to that right side. Take your tough moment to open up. Whatever you choose, continue at your own speed. Lie here a little bit longer. Move off to the side. Your choice. Your choice. I was laughing so hard because I knew that I was making a choice. I knew that I was making a choice that would affect me. Countless and numerous ways that I'll never even know, never even realize. That's for my subconscious to take care of. Basically, when we make choices like that, when you do the things that scared you before, I'll admit it, I had some fear in me. Felt silly about it. I knew it was silly, but it was still there. But when you make choices, when you stand up to those fears, or you choose your own personal freedom, your own happiness, your subconscious mind takes that and applies that to anything else in your life that remotely resembles that. You know what I'm saying? Just going to bring your knees on up, the other. Just keep your pelvis underneath that, elbow your hips. Bring your knees on in towards your chest. Give yourself a big old hug. You deserve it. It's like waking up in the morning. Sun shining. Wonderful fresh air in the room. You're happy to be here. You're so happy that you just give yourself another big hug. Prove that point for yourself. You can rock side to side, roll your feet around. Just feeling good. Feeling excited. You're going to bring your hands in between your knees, grab the outside of your feet, Put yourself back in a happy baby, in any position that you choose. Maybe you're trying something new and something different for yourself. You go to your intention, your why you're here, what do you want to get out of it? That's like that thing I did yesterday. I knew what I wanted to get out of it. I knew the changes that it would make inside of me. How it would affect the changes, how it would affect the choices that I make in the future. How I could feel things shift, how I could feel things change. Man, I heard those excuses all the way up to the very moment when I actually went to go do what I want to do. All the way up to, is this really necessary? Yes. For precisely that point, for the reason that I'm hearing that voice right now, that question, yes. Once I did it, it was no big deal. Well, once again, it was a big deal. Because I chose choice. I chose freedom rather than anything other than that. It was a damn big deal. To me. You might be curious about what choices you can make to do the same kinds of things for yourself. And think about all the choices that you want to make in the future. You know, our unconscious minds are pretty literal things. Pretty smart things, too. Takes care, creates all your habits. Allows you to move through life easily and naturally. You don't have to put a whole lot of thought into it, do you? We do a lot of the same things every day. It's going to bring your feet back down to your bottom. Going to extend your right leg out nice, long in, lean. Scoop your pelvis in underneath, lower back to the floor, shoulder blades underneath. Hands out to either side. You can reach a little bit longer. Imagine that beautiful pond, lake underneath you. See the reflection. Oh, man. It just comes that much quicker, that much clearer, doesn't it? You feel that much better. You think about all the wonderful experiences you've had here. You can imagine all the ones that you'll have in the future. You just feel better and better, more open, more expansive. You scare yourself making more choices that you may have been fearful of before, and you laugh about it now. Even when you find that fear kicking in, you can find yourself laughing about it then. You know what it is. You know what it is for its true self, or what. You also know about the strength and the power that you gain by saying yes instead. Yes, I'm going to do that. Just like now, extend yourself and reach. Slowly swing that leg on over. That vision becoming clearer and clearer. Relief and relaxation that you receive deeper. You just feel better and better. More ease, more grace. You turn your gaze to your right hand and ring your body on out. Let your body ring out. It happens with joy. You can even extend a little bit further if you choose. Pulling your foot away from your hand away from your foot. It's up to you. And at the same time, considering why you're here. Is it about creating that openness, that space, that freedom inside of you so you can heal? And if it isn't it worth taking every opportunity to do exactly that? So let that right foot swing slowly on down through. Breathe easily out up to your bottom. Extend your left foot nice, long, and lean. Looking forward to this. I mean, literally, it's just like, You allow that leg to swing off to the right. Just, man, I wish I could describe it. Just how good it can feel. You use your imagination in the best possible way. And I can't even describe it. Because it wouldn't necessarily be the same as you. I want you to hear the description, the picture, the metaphor that best describes you feeling at your best in this moment. You're most open, you're most free, you're most relaxed, most focused. Whatever it is that you choose. Choice. If you hear those voices, if you feel a little tinge of that fear, well, what if I go too far? What's too far? You can pull your left foot out, you can turn your gaze to your left hand, you can wring your body out. Bring out with freedom as you bring that spine. Imagining all the still blood, material that's been caught up, and all the muscle, all those other aspects of who you are, and by wringing yourself, literally wringing yourself out, but whether you are now, you're freeing that to be removed, to be released. Even as you breathe out, you're releasing all that you used to hold in. And those tiny little places, those tiny little spaces, you're choosing to release all of the negativity, staleness, the fear. And remember, the universe abhors a lack. If you have space, you need to fill it up with something. Like those gardens. You pluck out the weeds. If you don't plant something healthy, beneficial back, those weeds come right back. So as you continue moving, bringing that left foot on down through, extending, reaching, I want you to think about all the best things. I want you to think about what really matters to you right now. What really puts a smile on your face, brings joy to your heart, makes everything worthwhile. It could be that thing you're grateful for. It could be something that you enjoy, something you love. It could be absolutely anything that you want. And as those legs swing side to side, slowly, easily, gently, moving at whatever speed that you choose to focus in on the best of things. You fill all that space that you're creating, all that space that you're releasing of all the toxins, of all the negativity. You're filling all of that with all of that good stuff. You're allowing yourself to feel better and better by the moment. Better and better by the movement. Better and better with each and every breath. Notice how your leg can extend a little bit longer. How you can open up a little bit more. You can smile a little bit brighter. What a great Monday, huh? Great start to your day. Wouldn't it be wonderful to start every day off like this? You can. You can always think these same things. You can always fill yourself up in the same way. The way you choose. Bring both of your feet back on up to your bottom. Good. Bring your feet down, follow your hips, your knees come on in towards your chest. Give yourself another big old hug. You deserve. Roll side to side. Roll those ankles. Notice all the way things are feeling better and better. You can continue to think about all those wonderful things that you were a moment ago. And even notice all the places that you stored it away, tucked it away. All the places that you fill yourself up with all that happiness. If you like, you can bring your knees, your feet up over your head. Attention time, wide time. You know it. You know what it's for. Enjoy that. It's that time. Just enjoy all that space you're creating. And remembering to fill it up with the best of things. Don't leave it sitting there waiting for the weeds to fill in or the old negativity, the old toxins. Now that's why willpower is such it's a difficult thing to use, right? Willpower. No, we only have a certain amount of it. Serious. We only have a certain amount of willpower inside of us. Basically, it's our ability to be able to resist. And the more overwhelmed, the more stressed, the more anxious we are, the less willpower that we have. It's a scientific fact. That's why at the beginning of the day, you feel so certain about things. This is the day. I'm not going to do that anymore. This is the day. I'm going to do that. And if you're basing it off of willpower, well, majority of the time when people, they run out of willpower, it's later in the evening. That's because they've eaten it all up. I just couldn't hold out any longer. That's why setting your intention, your why, knowing what it is, and handing that over to your subconscious mind. Letting it do all the work for you rather than you have to focus in on it. That makes it easier and easier. It's part of who you are. You may as well use it. It's already doing all this other good stuff for you. Let it do that as well. Notice that the more that you focus in on the positive things, the happy things, the joyful things, the more that your subconscious realizes that's what you want. And it looks for more of that. It brings more of that into your life. That's its job. No mandates are going to affect it. It's there for you. Enjoy it. Put it to work. Let it work on the things that you really want it to. Let it focus in on the things that make the biggest improvement in your life. It's going to be rolling slowly back and forth. Bring that spine out, align it. Take whatever time that you need. Letting things settle back on in, and then just let it rolling all the way on up into a sitting position.
Take a nice couple wonderful breaths. Bring yourself on up when you're ready. Alright, coming in behind your chair, we'll have that right foot forward, left knee comes on in behind, go ahead and skip that pelvis in underneath, shoulder blades down back. Imagine that straight right there on your chest, once again, pulling it up. So literally, as you feel your chest being pulled up, you find your chin raises easily, naturally, your vision becomes high, wide, expansive, smile if you like. Go ahead and bring yourself on up into a triangle pose. Keeping that arching your back, chin on up, going to allow that chair to slide on forward. Once you're there, go ahead and pull your right hip back away from the chair, left hip comes on in towards the chair, and allow that to continue on. Feel those hips, that pelvis opening up more and more. That's funny, I tied my shoe there a moment ago, I thought about it. All of a sudden, that's why my mind went blank. So much about what I do in here, I just hand it over to my subconscious. I don't really think about what I'm doing. I'm serious. A lot of what I talk about, it isn't about me considering, thinking about what it is. I don't write this out ahead of time. This is literally just allowing myself to just be me. Speak things about the way that I understand. Go take a nice deep breath in, breathe out. Allow your left foot to slide back, coming down into the runner stretch. Chest coming between the shoulders. Imagine that string pulling on up higher. Wow, look at that. Chin rises up along with, eyes even higher. Smile if you like. All the things that I share here, just take what you need out of it. Please. Let go of whatever else they don't want, or maybe hold on to it for later on, you never know. It's like whenever we learn something, we always gain a deeper understanding of it each and every time, right? Each and every time that we do something, we gain a deeper understanding of what it is, how it affects us, how we can change. Let's go ahead and bring down the shoulder blade into the back line. Let's go ahead and bring your hip in underneath, looking over your right knee. Opening up into that IT band, to that left rib, hip, thigh, knee, all the way down to your very soul. Find yourself rising higher and higher. Maybe even that string right here, giving you an extra hand, holding you up. Allow your shoulders to roll back, your chest open a bit more, your chin on up. Breathe easier and easier. You feel things shift, change, quick, naturally. Just going to bring yourself back into a runner stretch. We're going to straighten that right knee, keeping your back up. Rotate off to your left-hand side. You let the knees on out. Nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, allow your chest to come down in between your legs. And that head on over to gravity. Whoop. That's what happens as you do. Feel your spine lengthening. Each and every breath you feel yourself expanding. As you breathe out, you find yourself relaxing, dropping more and more. The weight of your head, your shoulders, your upper body, they just allow you to stretch in all the most wonderful ways. Good, put a slight bend in your knees. Good, bring your hands on up to your hips, lead with your chin. Bring yourself all the way on up to a standing position. Turn your feet slightly outwards, let your pelvis come in underneath. Bring your chest on up. Imagine that string pulling you up. Chin reaching up, eyes wide, smile. Bring yourself back to a standing position. Go ahead and walk those feet on in. Yes. Bring yourself back on in by your chair. Left foot forward. Right knee back. Wait. Alright. Once you're there, go ahead and scoop that pelvis in underneath, shoulder blades out back, chin on up, eyes up high, wide expansion. Bring yourself on up into a triangle. Keep it an arch in your back, chin on up, let that chair slide on forward. Put yours on, I'll go ahead and bring that left hip back, right hip comes on in towards it. Allow those hips, that pelvis open up more and more. Feeling better and better, more stable. Finding more flexibility throughout your day, throughout your life. It's a wonderful thing, isn't it? You guys take care of yourself. Such great ways, terrific ways. Go ahead and take a nice deep breath in and motion and all that. Go ahead and allow yourself to come down into runner stretch, chest on in between. That string pulls you up even higher. Your chin comes up even higher. Your wide vision, more wide, more expansive. Breathe. Good, bring that right shoulder back in. Bring your right hip in underneath, looking over that left knee. Ring yourself out. Ring for joy. Feel that string pulling your chest up, your shoulders rolling back, your chin a little bit higher. Ring, ring, ring. Bring yourself back into runner stretch. Good, straighten out that left leg. Rotate to your right hand side. Good. Lock those hamstrings out, let your chest come down on through. Take a nice deep breath in, breathe out, drop a little bit deeper. Just going to bring that right hand off to that left foot. We're going to bring the left hand over to the right foot. Bring yourself down to a neutral position. Go ahead, bring it, bending your knees, hands on up to your hips, leading with your chin. Bring yourself all the way on up to a staying position. Go ahead, bring those hips in underneath, shoulders all back, feet turning outwards. Let it all settle. Bring yourself back to a staying position, walking those feet on in. Alright, we gotta move a little bit quickly now. I don't know where I lost the time today. I got lost. And then again, maybe it was time perfectly well spent, right? Wonderful. Let's go ahead and bring ourselves down into downward dog. Walk your hands on out, good. Reach your hips, your ribs on out, marching on out. Feel that energy, that strength building inside of you. Now you've been setting yourself up in all the right ways. Feeling better and better. Now do the balloons tied to your tailbone. Ha ha. It'd be 100 balloons, a blimp, anything that you want up there. Mickey Mouse, just pulling you up higher, whatever you choose. Now just bring your hands in a little bit closer. Notice where they're at. Turn those fingers slightly outward. So literally your palms face a little bit outward either direction. Then you bring yourself forward in that plank position. Rotate your elbows in. So literally as you're coming down, you come down onto those elbows, your ribs do. Push down into the floor, drop those shoulder blades, rise on up into cobra. Wonderful. Pull your head away from your tailbone, lengthen your spine. You can turn your knees out if you like. Open up your core, your abdomen. Good. Bring your gaze off to your right hand side. Over to your left. Forward all the way on up. Really reach. Open up your throat. Open up your voice. Let yourself ring on out. Bring yourself down gently, easily, carefully. Go ahead, readjust, reset. Bring your elbows in towards your ribs. And then push down and bring yourself back on up into downward dog. Keeping those elbows in, they create stability that way. When they point out, you don't have any of that, right? One more time. Going to bring yourselves forward. Rotate those elbows in. Ride them on down. Push down into the floor. Drop those shoulders. Rise on up into cobra. Pull your head up and away from that tailbone. Leg. Bring your gaze up to your right hand side. Over to your left. Forward all the way on up. Reach. Open yourself on up. Bring yourself all the way down. Tenderly. Reset. Make sure everything's right where it needs to be. Press down, back. Rise on up into downward dog. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and step forward with that right foot to right hand. Left foot rotates. Right hip comes in underneath. Reaching back. Activate your core, rise on up into warrior one. Lock your feet in, push them down and out. We're going to continue on. We're going to bring ourselves into warrior two. Fantastic. Feel all that strength and stability underneath you. Go ahead and flip that front hand. Let that come back into reverse warrior. Find yourself rising up more and more while those ribs open up more and more. That right shoulder just drops down and back. You bring your right elbow down onto your right thigh. Pull your head away from your left foot, your shoulder. Literally find yourself rising higher and higher. Your whole chest comes on up. Reach on up with that left hand. Find yourself rising. Just go ahead and bring that right hand down, stacking both of those arms one on top of another. Take a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, that left hand comes up, over and forward. Wonderful. Take a nice breath in, activate your core, bring yourself into warrior two. And we're going to go ahead and dive down through. Hands together, rotate elbows in, ride them down. Push down the floor, drop those shoulders, rise into cobra. Bring yourself down, reset. Make sure you're all good, solid. Activate, press down and back, rise into downward dog. Let's bring your left foot up to your left hand, right foot rotates. Left hip comes underneath you, reach back. Activate your core, rise on up. Lock yourself into the floor, push your feet down and out. Moving on into warrior two. Wonderful. We're going to flip that front hand, bring yourself back into reverse warrior. Open up those ribs, let that left shoulder drop down and back. And we're going to bring that left elbow down onto our left thigh. Pull your head away from your right foot. Your shoulder rise, lift. Bring your right hand on up. Row even higher. Wonderful. Let's bring that left hand down to the ground, stacking both of those arms. Then we're going to bring that right hand up, over, and forward, extending through that right side of your body. Activate your core, bring yourself back into warrior two. We're going to go ahead and straighten out that front leg, come all the way up and out of it. Wonderful. Grab a quick drink, grab your maces.
Monday as well. Yeah.
Okay, we gotta do this really quick. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna do one contraction. Close your eyes, real quick, pull yourself up nice and tall. Imagine yourself in that frog pose. Lying back, pelvis scooped in underneath, lower back to the floor, shoulder blades down back. You need to lift your chin up a little bit higher. Imagine yourself relaxing, nice, easy, gently. Go ahead, while you're in that position, allow your hips to go ahead and rotate on out. Give yourself that space. Give yourself one solid gluteal contraction. Bring it on in. Let it know where it's supposed to be. Remind it. Wake it on up. Lock it on in. Fantastic. Now, while keeping that activated, keeping this, I want you to go ahead and grab your mace, bring it up, back and around for pendulum. So keep everything activated, keep everything nice and tight. There you go. Now, once you got all that set, let the shoulder blades drop down and back. Let that mace go side to side. See, that's how it's supposed to be anyway. We're supposed to have our body activated, have all that strength, all that stability, all that structure as we're coming into these pendulums. So it's actually a perfect way to come right on into it, right? Wonderful. Let it come to a standstill. We're going to pull it in towards the back of your head. Extend your elbows out. Bring your chin on up a little bit higher. And relax. Going to reaching down in and around behind. Bring it on forward. Real quick. Gluteal contraction. Pull yourself up nice and tall. Go ahead and match yourself back in that frog position. Activate. Once you got that thing, go ahead and bring the mace up, back and around behind. That's interesting, isn't it? Let those shoulder blades relax down and back. Let that mace swing. Shoulder blades just relaxing more and more. Opening up more and more. Feeling better and better by the moment. Fantastic. Let it come to a standstill. Pull it in towards the back of your head. Extend those elbows on up, chin on up. Shoulder blades relax down and back. Literally, if you're putting tension into your shoulders, you may even experience discomfort. Relax your shoulders as much as you can, and things automatically happen for you. Fantastic. Let's go ahead and reach back and around behind. We're going to go straight into squats. Once again, activate those glutes. Right out the get-go. Keep them tight. Keeping your weight back over your heels, your chest straight on up, your chin up as much as you can. Let's go ahead and bring yourselves down. Keeping those glutes activated, bring yourself on up, switch. So keeping those glutes activated as you come down, activating them as you come on up, using all of the muscles to that hamstring, that back line, rather than the knees. You should hardly actually have to feel anything at all in your knees. You should actually be able to bring your toes up off the ground a little bit. As you're moving through this. The more that you can actually bring those toes up, the more that it'll let you know that you're actually keeping the weight on the back line where it needs to be. Keeping those glutes nice and activated. Make sure they're doing our work. Last one right here. We're going to come on up and relax. Wonderful. All right, guys, let's put them off to the side. Quickly, we'll bring ourselves down onto our mats into child's pose. Knees nice and wide apart, hands reaching up to the top of your mat. A nice deep breath in. Wonderful. Thank you, ladies. I really appreciate you helping the way. Go ahead and extend it. Go ahead and take a nice deep breath in. As you breathe out, just allow yourself to feel good. Allow yourself to smile and consider all the wonderful things that you've done for yourself already this day, already this week.
What a great way to start things off. It's going to reach off to your right hand side. Open up those left ribs. 3 things that you're grateful for. 3 things that bring a smile to your face, joy to your heart, make everything worthwhile. Stack them on, pile it on, much as you want. Gonna bring yourself off to your left hand side. Open up those right ribs. I want you to think about 3 things that are gonna make today amazing. Fantastic. Unbelievable. You have choice. What have you been afraid of? What have you been feeling fear? What are you ready to actually move past and discover no big deal? Or actually a really big deal? And think about all those choices that you get to make for the future without even having to think about it. Bring yourself back in the child's pose and feel really good about that. And even get your mind activated right now. What are you ready to jump on? What are you ready to do? Go ahead and put yourself in a cat position. Go ahead and allow your back to rise on up. Yes. And with that in mind, daily affirmation, right? Sure as the sun is going to shine tomorrow. Is the sun going to shine tomorrow? You know the deal. Say it. Say it to yourself. Say your affirmation. Feel that. That certainty, that knowing. Knowing you're ready to step past all the other stuff that's held you back. All those voices, all the excuses. All the reasons why not to. Now you get to laugh, huh? What a great thing that is. Go to rock back onto your knees. Lift your hands on up to the sky. Feel yourself extending more and more. Bring yourself back down. Say gratefulness. Grateful for yourself. For all the wonderful things that you do for yourself. How you take care of yourself. All the wonderful people that join you on this amazing journey. Go let those hands come floating all the way down to your sides. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very, very much. What a wonderful start to our week. Go ahead and catch your legs here. Close your eyes.